Hello again, and welcome to another whiskey review with me, the Whiskey Novice. Thank you for joining me. Remember, we are looking at distilleries which I haven't yet touched upon. And a lot of these distilleries which I haven't yet touched upon are new to the team, new to the table, as is the case here with Glenwyvis. So Glenwyvis, let's look at them. A Highland distillery, established in 2017, and it's a community-driven project. So it was the community around the sort of, they're not a million miles away from Inverness, Glenwyvis. And the community, I'm sort of reading the bottle as I go along here. Dingwall, that was the place I was looking, the name I was looking for. I knew it. I just couldn't remember it. And Dingwall, so this was a community, got together, got a lot of money together, built a distillery, Dingwall. I mean, it's just incredible. I'm actually going to read this bottle. So this is batch one, and it's easier for me just to read you the details. Batch 2019, obviously. Bottled in batch 12,000. So this was put down 2019, bottled in 2023. 46.5% natural colour, non-chill filtered, and matured for 3 years. So they do, in fairness, go into quite a bit of detail. Enough detail. Some of them, to me, overdo it. I'll openly admit. Matured for 3 years in 68% first fill ex-bourbon, 15% refill whiskey, and 17% speciality wine casks, whatever that means. So there you go. A young whiskey. So let's get in there, shall we? It's not just a young whiskey. It's a very young whiskey. Now, there are those of you who may be new to this sort of game of whiskey. How do we know a young whiskey? What is it that stands out to us that screams young whiskey? Well, apart from the age, obviously. I mean, if you didn't know what age this was, would it still nose like a young whiskey? Yes. It's spirit forward is something that's usually, so even, I would suggest that spirit forward something that says young, because this is only 46.5%. Higher ABV whiskies can also be spirit forward, even though they're much, much older. Young whiskies just tend to be spirity. They're just lively. They're full of vim and just ready to poke your eyes out. But it's not just that. There's a creamy, and I've said it many times, it's the estery note, fruity estery notes. It's that there's a fruity ester note. What are esters? It's all very complicated. I'll explain it at a later date. Esters are basically the descriptives of different fruitinesses, fruit notes, fruit. So fruitiness in its own as a collective could be considered estery. It's all very complicated. But there's that creamy, weird sharpness, funkiness. It's buttery. It's all going on here. All of that stuff that sometimes it's hard to explain, sometimes it's hard to describe, but you just know youth sometimes. And sometimes, here's the best way to describe it actually. If you've never tasted new make spirit, try again to get your hands on some new make spirit, because this, for all their weird and fancy maturation there, still just reeks of new make spirit. Not a bad thing, don't get me wrong. But on the nose, it's just screaming out for some more time in a cask. It just smells like new make spirit to me. But a decent new make spirit with some age on it. So let's get into the palate. Once again, sweet and sour arrival. Very, very new makey. Very new makey, diluted new make. So generally when we're tasting new make, we're usually getting it at still strength, at casking strength, certainly in Scotland, because in most cases they're distilling twice and distilling it to around about casking strength, around about 63.5%-ish. So there's not an awful lot of water being added before it gets into the cask. So generally, if you're in a distillery and you're trying new make spirit, you're trying new make spirit ready to go into the barrel. In this case, it's been diluted back. Not an awful lot changes between the nose and the palate. All of that weird creamy, it's not bad. I'm not saying that it's bad whiskey. It's just so young. Like the nose, just feels like it tastes like it requires time in the barrel. It's goes a bit dry. It does go a bit dry. Finish is relatively short, peppery, white pepper, maybe even a hint of cinnamon, because there's a nice, quite a relatively nice sweetness that runs the whole way through this. It's not bad. It just feels like it needs time. Let's see what some water does, shall we? So I added some water. I've given it some time. I gave it some more time. And then I gave it some more time again. And here's why. This doesn't change at all. It's weird. Generally, I mean, any whiskey that you tend to add water to, it changes a bit. I would suggest that this did not change at all. It just smells exactly the same as it smelled before I added water to it. I experimented when I was doing my tasting notes, because the same thing happened then, and I thought, well, perhaps more water, and then it just and then it just got to the point where it overwatered it. So it's a weird balance. I can't quite put my finger on why this doesn't change. Palate. The flavors don't change. It tastes much the same. If anything, it loses a bit with the addition of water. It becomes a bit flatter. It's losing a bit of that youthful vim. So here's what I'm going to say to you. If you bought this, don't add water to it. It's around the 55 to 60 pounds mark. Would I replace it? No, I won't replace this. As a matter of fact, without any slight at Glenwyvis at all, you can see that there isn't an awful lot out of this bottle. The reason for that is I haven't been enjoying it. It's that simple. I'm struggling with this whiskey. And as I said, that's not a slight with them. It's just, I'm just struggling with it. So this will hang around in my cabinet a while, I would imagine. So then, what would I suggest to you as an alternative? Well, I'm going to stick with the new boys, and this is a whiskey that I will be reviewing as part of this. I sort of tend to want to use the word series. I said quite a while ago, anybody who knows my channel and has watched it for a long time, that I don't do series of reviews anymore. But it's hard not to say that this is a series. So let's for now say this series. I will be reviewing Loch-Lee, and probably this bottle, Loch-Lee or barley. Loch-Lee among the new guys as well. I'm going to suggest that Loch-Lee have got it figured out a bit better than the people at Glenwyvis have. Once again, nothing wrong with this, and I understand that this being a community-driven project, Glenwyvis, money needs to be made. It's very easy to suggest, oh, you know, come on, try harder. These guys are trying to make some money back. But sometimes I mean, okay, whiskey is 3 ingredients technically: cereal, water, and yeast. But let's never forget patience. And to me, some patience is required with this Glenwyvis. Some of these new guys, to me, are getting the balance right at younger ages. They seem to just have their finger on the pulse that little bit better. Locklee being a good example of it, in my opinion. A better example of it than this Glenwyvis would be a better way to put that. A better example of it. So there, that's that done. Just go leave it at that and say thank you very much for joining me, as always. Thank you very much to my patrons. Should anybody wish to join that group and show the channel a little more support, the details are in the video description below. I'll be back the next time. I hope you can join me. Until then, look after yourselves. Here's to your good health. Cheers.
Hey, thanks for watching my video. Please click and subscribe to be notified of further content.